Aquascaping, the 4,500 gallon, 33 foot long Xingu River Aquarium. We've got lots of plant baskets for the riverbank. We've got lots of plant media for the riverbank. We have all kinds of structure for the upper part of the river, where we are going to have the higher flowing rocky rapids all the way down to the lower part of the river, where we're going to have the river dock. And along the way, we're going to have a whole lot of root structure, rock structure, plants, riverbank plants coming down to the water. All kinds of things are going to be happening. It is, like everything with this build, it is massive. So you know what? Let's stop talking about it and get right into it right now. Okay, where to start? Let's see. We've got a lot of more structure for what we're going to build up inside. We've done some stuff with the lighting. We finished the riverbank, everything we said we were going to do. Let's come down to the wetland filter. We've almost finished. We're to the gravel stage, the last stage of that. We got a bunch of plant baskets, a bunch of plant media for the riverbank. We got to fill that out. But let's start with, we got a lot of rocks, and I got a pile outside way bigger than that. It's crazy. I'm having nightmares with rocks, but let's start with the scape. So what's going to happen here? Lots of water flow, 12,000 gallons per hour. That's going to make a pretty impressive waterfall here, right? Well, that waterfall is going to come crashing down onto a very, very sizable rock structure that is going to represent the upper part of the Xingu River. So this first section of the aquarium, you can imagine, will be a lot rockier and a lot higher flow. Then as we come down to this second stage of the aquarium, this is going to be our transition from the upper to lower river. So we're going to start to see less rock, more sand, and more wood and wood root, keeping in mind that not only do we have the riverbank growing immersed out of the aquarium with roots coming down, we're also going to use this structure to put in wood root down into the water to create all kinds of underwater structure in the aquarium and sight breaks and all that good stuff. Then we're going to flow down. So then now we transition down to the third part of the aquarium, where we're starting to really flatten out into the lower part of the river, to be much more sandier, much less rock, way more wood root structured, more sort of a jungle riverbank area. And this is where we're going to have our dock coming out into the water, sort of our little Amazon tribal river dock, sticking out there like they would have a canoe or something, but an awesome place for peacock bass or whatnot to hide under. And then last we get down to the completely lower part of the river, which is going to be mostly sand, mostly open, just with that riverbank wood structure coming down and plant roots. So there's a lot to do. There's a lot of structure here that needs to be modified. So what's going to happen is these milk crates are going to build up the porous structure that I can go in the very first part of the aquarium where the waterfall comes down. So this is going to allow me to build up rock and wood around this to hide all of this, but it's also going to allow it to be porous, allow water to flow to come through, because not only do we have the 12,000 gallons of water coming from the pumps on the far right, going through the plumbing down and then overflowing back, within the aquarium there's going to be multiple power heads in each section that are going to produce another 12,000 gallons per hour of internal water flow that's going to keep all this water stirred up, so we don't have sediment on the bottom of the aquarium, so we don't have dead spots where we have cyanobacteria and things like that grow. So we want to make sure that the aquascape allows for the water to flow through it. So we're going to modify these milk crates so the fish can swim through. So we'll take out, say, like this section here and this section, so the fish can go through like that. Same thing on the middle section. We take out here and over here, and then of course the same corresponding areas inside, so the fish can enter here, swim through, and go out over here. Same thing down here and same thing here. Again, it's all going to be covered with aquascape, with rock and wood and everything, so you won't see anything, but there will be cavities, the caves that the fish can swim through, and that's going to keep that nice and porous. Also, we're going to zip tie all these together once they've been modified inside the tank to hold everything together, as well as they're going to have, lots of rocks piled on and everything, and wood zip tied to them, so we'll be able to keep that wood in place, so we can use the wood to hide certain spots right between the rocks to keep that natural look, because we don't want anything to look unnatural in this aquarium. But so this is the beginning structure. This will be what goes up by the waterfall, and then we'll work our way down with smaller rocky structures transitioning like I explained. So let me get cutting this, get it zip tied together, get it in the tank. Well, as excited as I am to do the Aquascape for the 4,500 gallon, I can't forget I have other running tanks, and the discus aquarium, it needs a little bit of TLC. So the fish are looking great, the water tests out great, but the glass needs to be cleaned, and yeah, there's a ton of hair algae all over that wood. Also, what's up with the lights? One of the lights is half burned out. Man, there's a lot of things to fix. All right, you know what? Let's rejuvenate. Let's overhaul the 220 gallon flooded forest. Let's get this tank looking nice again. You know, I'm sitting here cleaning out these rocks and I'm thinking, I'm sure there's some YouTuber out there somewhere that would be like, I struck gold or found gold while cleaning out my aquarium gravel, doing this kind of thing. It's so stupid even to say it, but I'm sure it would happen. But yeah, the only thing I dislike more than cleaning gravel would be dumb videos like that. Okay, phase one of the, call this the river fall part of the Aquascape. So you see we're going pretty close to the top, and we're coming down and spreading out into the tank. Got 3 layers here, which are all going to be covered in rock and slate and wood. All this good stuff up here. A lot of that to go, but right now what I've done is there's holes cut, so we have the caves for the fish. All the blocks are zip tied together. Again, they're going to have rocks on them, but you know, kind of one time, only one time to get it right, do it right. So everything is locked together in addition to all the weight that'll be on it. So now it's time for me to get in there and figure out the right arrangement of wood and rocks that's going to make this work. And just FYI, I'll probably be zip tying a lot of the wood to the structure as well, which will keep it all in place. I have a feeling a lot of the wood will be used in between the rocks just to fill cracks and things like that. So yeah, and like I said, there is slate and some gravel to go on there. So it'll be 3 different levels of rocks, plus gravel, plus slate, plus wood. And hopefully the combination of all those materials will allow this to look natural. And obviously a lot of reflection right now, but that's what it looks like coming through the front. Okay, lots of work to do. Okay, main pump is turned off, and we have the old Cichlid Ultra Zero pumping out the water. It's going down, as you can see right now. First step is I'm going to get in there and get this glass cleaned with the razor blade, start working on the hair algae, and on the hair algae that's on the wood up here, and then I'll get the stuff that's fallen down here, get that all cleaned up while it drains, because 220 gallons, it takes a while. All right, let me get to work on this. Okay, first thing to do is to swap out this Kessel that's just gone blue. I don't know if you can really see in the video, but instead of being the normal whitish yellow light, it's just sort of a blue light. There's a reason I don't buy these anymore, is they tend to burn out. They're pretty expensive, and they do last for many, many years, but what ends up happening with all of them is they pretty much do this, where I think the LED sensor in there gets too hot, and part of it burns out, and you end up to where it just has one color. You can see where if I adjust the knob just right, it'll stick with the right color for a little bit, and then it'll fail, and it'll go to the blue. The marine and the freshwater do it. So, pretty frustrating. I don't know. I mean, I have another one to replace it, but when I run out of them, I think I'm done with them. Okay, there we go. There's the new light in place, and I think I should probably mention that. Why do I have an extra one? Well, it's because I have RMA'd a bunch of these because they failed. So I don't know. Kudos to Kessel for having an RMA and sending me a replacement one, but it's happened a lot. It's happened way too much, especially for the price of these. So it's kind of one of those things where I don't want to buy anything that requires constantly being RMA'd. It's a pain in the butt, and you can't really rely on it. I mean, these are lights. It's not the end of the world if they go out, but imagine if these guys were making, like things that are more critical to the support system, like main pumps or whatever. Just kind of brutal. Especially with so many other LED options out nowadays. But at least we got that fixed. Now I really got to get this cleaned up. Whew. I got to tell you, I don't know what was harder, building the aquarium or aquascaping it. We're still in the first section here, but I wanted to sort of show you how the sausage is made. Okay, so we saw that we have the structure built up with the milk crates, and now we're building up the rock and the wood, and it's very tedious. It's important to bring like a bucket or something to sit on, because crouching down, you need to take your time and get it right. And what happens is it starts off with, you sort of have to build up some of the rocks, get a rough idea, then sort of tear it apart down so you can get into the milk crate, so you can zip tie all the wood to the milk crate. So you can see all that wood root there, it's all zip tied to something, you know, each other, the milk crate, not depending on, you know, obviously it would float, and there's gonna be a big fish in here that can push things around, so everything has to be very strong, very tied down. Keeping in mind, this is obviously really rough. We're still, you know, you saw what it looked like with the milk crate. In fact, here's the second section, and I don't even know if you can see it well right now, the lights are on, but there's the next section of black milk crate that's creating the upper rocky part of the river. But of course there is wood root as well on the rock structure, and there will be some up top. It'll be more and more as we get further down the river there. But like I was saying, is you have to sort of get the rough structure, tear it back, build it back, put the wood root in there, and then this is the base. Right now, after this, I have lots of other size rocks which are going to fill in all the cracks and crevices and everything. So you're not going to see any milk crate. Already at this level, it's blended in pretty good. So that gives me very high hopes that with all the fill rock I have, it should be awesome. And sort of a lesson learned is originally I was going to have the fish swimming in the front and the sides. Now I've sort of gone mostly to the sides. I'm leaving a couple small holes to go in the front, but mostly side to side because it's just a lot easier to aquascape. So on the second section over there, it's all side to side cave, so this fish can swim through the structure versus in and then to the side. Also, we're going through a small inspection right now. But anyway, the reason I switched to that is it's just hard to aquascape the front and have a cave entrance and make it look natural. So I'm going to do it for this one up here and this one down here. But other than that, it's all going to be the side entrance stuff. So, which gives the same effect for the fish, caves to swim through, place to retreat to, and also keeps the aquascape looking nice. So obviously I have a ton more to go, so I'm gonna get back to it because we got boxes full of wood, and well, I got more rocks outside. I gotta go get them. All right, we've replaced the light. We've gone in, and it's just easy just to pull these wood sticks out and clean them off down here in the bucket and stick them back in. But what I was noticing is there's a lot of buildup over here, and there's not good water flow. So there is a gyre water pump in the back that's sideways that pushes all on the back, and you can see the back area and up top. It keeps it pretty clean, and also in the back over here. But then when you get more to the front, the middle part, it's all being blocked by all this structure, and there's really not enough flow here. So I've got some small power heads that I'm going to position over here above that, and they'll kick all that up and get it going this direction into that main flow, which will then bring it back around and then up into the overflow. And this is one of the few aquariums where I actually run mechanical to pick that up, because this isn't really the sump I wanted. This is the sump I had to make do with. So, you know. So as far as all the hair algae you see sitting on the bottom, it's not easy to clean like it is the sticks, because when you go to pull it out, it sort of breaks apart. So we're going to get that with the filter by fixing the water flow, which is really the long-term problem anyways, is the water flow. And whatever it is about these sticks, that they just grow. They grow the hair algae like crazy. I use a lot of wood in a lot of aquariums, and this batch of sticks right here takes the cake for the most of that kind of growth. Because like I said, this isn't a high nitrate system. The water quality is very good, but it's always struggled with the hair algae. But we'll do the things we can do, which is more frequent cleanings and fixing the water flow for now, and then eventually fixing the sump. Well, you hardly ever see them, but judging by that belly, I'd say this Autocinquus is doing pretty well. Okay, this is right after the water change. I've added those little pumps. Were given to me free. I told the vendor I didn't want to say anything good about them, so I asked if they want to have them back. They said no, so sat them around, but for right now they'll be used for this. They're obviously doing the job. They're kicking up all of this down here, getting into the column, and eventually it should make its way to the overflow over there. We do have, oh, yep, I haven't plugged in the back pump. 1 second. Okay, there we go. I was wondering why we didn't have the main flow going. So now along the back we have the big gyre pump in the back there that's blowing all on the back. Now that's going to sync up with this over here, and we're going to get a pretty good current going. But obviously it looks like a mess right now, but you know, let's see. We'll give it 24 hours and see what it looks like. Hopefully we have lots of hair algae that ends up caught in that filter right there. All right, now that is why we do maintenance on aquariums. I try to go as long as I can without water changes, but there comes a time where you need to do a water change. You need to get a little bit of detritus picked out of there, and you need to add a little bit of water flow. And we've done it all here, and oh my gosh, the flooded fours 220-gallon discus aquarium looking beautiful. So we pretty much answered the question. So with all the live plants I have growing out of the aquarium, in the aquarium, and in the sump, it goes about 4 months. After 4 months, it starts to get a little overgrown looking and a little ratty, and it needs to clean up. So, you know, maybe that's fine. I mean, I don't look for no maintenance on my aquarium, my ecosystem aquariums. I just look for managed maintenance. And yeah, doing what I did to this tank every 4 months, it's not a problem whatsoever. I don't know why this one particular type of wood likes to grow hair algae like no tomorrow, but yeah, when it's cleaned up, it looks nice. So I guess I can deal with it. It's worth it for these guys. Oh, they're so beautiful. I always feel like maybe I need more discus. Get this guy back here. All right, awesome. 220, looking beautiful again. Like always, this thing is a beast. I'm pretty beat, but let's take a look. We didn't have the lights on last time, so we get a better look now. This is the big waterfall section coming down. This is the biggest part of the rock work, the upper part of the river. Once again, this is just the first stage. There's 3 more levels of aggregate that's going to go in there to make it more realistic, as well as where you see the wood going up, it'll be continued up, so it'll be more natural, like flowing up like the pathway. So it's like root coming down the rock. It won't just end there. Just kind of spreading things out on this first pass. So here's the middle section. We're lowering it down a little bit. We're coming down into the middle part of the river. All the swim throughs are going this way, so you can swim through this way, out into here, back into there, and then of course all across the back and all across the top. And again, just the beginnings with the boulders and the wood. It's also going to follow the pathways up, so the wood should have a natural flow where it comes all the way down like that, all the way up to the surface. It doesn't just stop there, but this is just part way. Of course, we want to have some large open areas of sand and gravel. Here, we also, is key, is the sight breaks. So with the big cichlids, we want to have these sight breaks to create areas where the fish that are over here don't see the fish that are over here, and vice versa down there, plus plenty of retreat, retreat for the fish. Because once you give them a whole bunch, they don't use it, they stay out and about, and because they know if they need to, they can dart in there. So this is going to be it for this installment of the aquascaping. Now don't tell me you thought this was going to be all in one video. No way, this is massive. It's a good start, it's a real good start, because this is the more complicated part. We get down to here, we're going to be building the dock coming out into the water. That's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. And this is going to be a largely open area down here. But keep in mind, we're going to have root coming down from, we're going to use the riverbank structure to anchor in wood root that's going to be coming down into the tank. And that's going to start up, it's going to be kind of light over here, and it's going to get heavier as we flow this way. And then down here, you'll just have the wood root in the open space. So there is a ton to come. So I know I was joking, but I'm sure somebody thought that I'd be able to aquascape this all in one video, but it's just massive tank. There's no way just hauling the rock, hauling it in there, and placing it multiple times to quote unquote get it right or make it look good, and then peeling it back, putting pieces in, and it's just a ton of work. But so I think what makes more sense, rather than hold up, who knows how long it'll take, and put out one big video is put out the videos faster, show you the progress along the way, show you the other stuff we're working on in the fish room, and of course, the next stage of this will be coming soon because we're just going to keep cranking it out as fast as I can build it. And like I said, the part I've done is by far the most time-consuming part, so it goes faster from here. And we're getting close. We're getting really close, and I'm getting really excited. Hopefully, you guys can see see what I see with this scape so far in terms of it's just the underpinnings of the structure. It's not the final thing. It's going to look a lot better, but hopefully it gives you an idea of where we're headed with this aquascape. And we're not even a quarter of the way done with this scape. There's still a ton to go. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I'm going to see you guys really soon and show you that riverbank.